concept of normal. What do normal people do? What are normal people like, right? The DSM, Diagnostic Statistic Manual of Mental Health, DSM-4, when I saw it, is DSM-5 now, apparently. On page 1, it says there's no such thing as normal, right? And I go even further to say, if you don't go to Ivy League school, right? How can you consider yourself normal? If you don't go Ivy League school and get early decision, how can you consider yourself normal? How can you live with yourself, right? Right? I mean, that's what people aspire to do, right? That's in the same way that people aspire to get married and have a wedding, and there's a wedding industry, right? The same way that there's a wedding industry and a divorce industry and a funeral industry, there's a college industry, right? And the top of the college is Harvard, right? And Sorbonne, and hopefully Cambridge, whatever, Oxford, right? The top school is the top school, right? And everyone else is a schmuck, a sucker. Everyone else is paying too much for their college, right? It's a waste of money because you're not Harvard. You know, who are you? Get out of my face. As I say it, it's funny because I met that girl, whatever her name was, amazing girl, but she said she was working at Apple at Cupertino, but her degree is from an art school, right? She's so amazing. Anyway, so she's complaining, she's commiserating that none of her buddies in the office there in Cupertino, none of her buddies invite her to go to this particular restaurant with them, you know. And because they all went to Stanford. Like everyone that works at Apple apparently came from Stanford. Right? And I said to her, yeah, when I was working at Earthlink, the restaurant was Steak and Shake. And she laughed. Anyway, normal. What do normal people do? Right? I mean, I don't know what I'm going to say here. It's coming as I speak to say, what do normal people do? I guess we can assume, or we can deduce, we can figure out that no single person can do everything that's possible to do in life, right? Right? Because, for example, one of the things it's possible to do in life is be a Christian, a member of one church your whole life. You're born into it, you're raised into whatever, you know, Main Street Church, whatever it is, right? And you grow up, you live your whole life, you never leave town, right? Somehow you get a job where you support yourself, you live, you survive, and you keep going to this one church every Sunday, right? And you listen to the sermons, right? Right? I mean, there's that existence that I just said, that whole existence, where you go to church on Sunday and you listen to sermons, and then there's a second existence where you go to church on Sunday and you go to the Bible study on Wednesday, right? But I digress. Right? To say, one of the possibilities of living your life is to say that, guess what? The religion you were born into, the church that you're born into, is the right one. Exact right, dead on, right? The church, right? The church is the right one. Oh my gosh, the church is the right church, right? So much of a right church that you don't even think to go to other churches or other religions, right? Or do you? And then there's the idea that you could get the idea that, oh gosh, there's other churches and religions out there. You could get the idea that it's possible to leave your church and go to that, right? And try something else, right? But then, I mean, there's a consideration, a question to ask yourself over and over again. Why am I staying in this church that I grew up in? Why am I staying in this church that I grew up in when there's other churches to try, right? Or there's the gut feeling in your gut to say it's a sin to even consider leaving the church and trying something else, right? And I imagine, because, my friend Arnold says, Jews are not allowed to go into another church, a different church, not allowed to study other religions. Really? Right? That's what he says. I tend to believe him, right? It's amazing. Every once in a while I meet a Jew at synagogue, right? That will actually talk to me, that actually talks to me, right? And I'm like, an actual Jew that grew up Jewish, did Judaism every day of his life, right? It's amazing. It's what a wonderful commodity, what a wonderful blessing in this humanity, in the world, that there's religions where people are born into it and do it every single day of their life. Not only that, but in doing so, they're sheltered from America, literally sheltered from America, right? Sheltered from Duran Duran and Fleetwood Mac and AC/DC and Metallica and movies and TV, right? Pick a movie, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Deer Hunter, Forrest Gump, right? And Alf TV show, all these stupid TV shows I watched, Inane Direct, all these dumb TV shows, and people watch crime shows and all this stuff, Blue Bloods and all this stuff. I don't watch crime shows, but Americans, right? Enough Americans watch TV that there still is TV. I'm going to put it that way, right? And it boggles the mind. We're talking about millions of Americans watch TV every day, so much so that they continue to produce television shows, right? And even the reruns. If no one was watching, they wouldn't even play reruns, right? If no one was watching, if everyone just all of a sudden got the bright idea that there's better things to do in the world than watch TV and go outside and do something and go outside and meet each other, This is so funny. Go outside and meet each other as opposed to watch TV. If everyone got the idea, then, next time they turn on the TV, it'd be just snow, right? Just snow, no signal. Right? No signal. Every channel, no signal, right? Every streaming service, no signal. Right? Every streaming service, every TV channel, right? But what would that be like, right? So many people watch TV. And as I say, That's American church right there. American church is watching TV, and that I'll take that to the grave. Jewish church is going to synagogue and being completely separated and concealed from American civilization, American society, and rightfully so. Whatever they do to protect their kids from America, they're doing it, and it works. You know, they have to live in Crown Heights, right? They have to live in Jewish community, right? It's just amazing, right? I don't know.